this round. Here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
Quannell all over the news last week. Alaskapox. Alaskapox, this dreaded disease, has taken one life. And it's tragedy when anyone dies, but this was a man that lived alone in the woods, alone in the damn woods, with cancer, who had a cat that hunted small animals, that scratched him. He got an infection. He got some antibiotics that didn't work. Then he died. It looks gross. Looks like a big ugly ass whitehead mixed with a wart, mixed with a ringworm. I wouldn't want to have that, and I think it's horrible if this guy dies. But this is just yet another example of our legacy media, social media platforms, and the government trying to scare the hell out of all of us with this horrible stuff that isn't so horrible. He was immunocompromised. The death is horrible. But in America, if you look at death rates, Quannell, especially with young adults, fentanyl, killing people everywhere. We were talking about the Chiefs earlier in the show, those 3 guys that froze to death from that fentanyl-laced cocaine. We got suicide. We got gun violence, right? But for the government to do anything about all of those, especially the fentanyl and the gun violence, that would require them to restrict the liberty of bad people. And for them to do something about suicide, well, that would require the government to do something about mental health in America, which of course they don't want to do. Instead, they want to platform crap like this, scaremonger everyone in America, and use things like this as a vehicle to restrict the liberties of the law-abiding. And it's absolutely insane.
Charles, what concerns me about this is, can we really trust what they're calling this disease? Can we really trust what they've labeled this? We are the same people in this country who was told that the COVID-19 virus did not come out of Wuhan, China, in a Chinese lab. We were the same people who were told that Dr. Fauci had no financial relationship with anyone involved in creating the vaccine to treat the COVID-19 virus. That turned out to be a lie. What's more dangerous than fentanyl? What's more dangerous than gun violence and gang violence in America taking lives? A biological weapon engineered and put out into the public for the sole purpose of killing human beings. I am very suspicious that they had a quick such name about this virus. And how long have they studied this virus? And we hear the story that they're giving, but these are the same people who gave us a lie and multiple lies out of the CDC about COVID-19. How can we trust what they're telling us is really truthful now about this virus,
You know, I find it interesting you talk about the name of this virus. You remember the COVID-19, the coronavirus, it originally was the Wuhan flu, the Wuhan virus. And then the woke weirdos on the far left, and I consider myself dead in the center, but the woke weirdos on the far left decided, oh no, that's xenophobic. That's critical. It came from a lab called the Wuhan virus lab, right? And not this wet market nonsense. So I do fully anticipate that sometime in the coming weeks, someone's going to decide they're calling it Alaskapox because it came from, small animals like a shrew or something in Alaska. They'll decide that that's offensive to the Inuit people or offensive to, whomever, right? I don't think Eskimo is a proper term. I think that's considered pejorative now. But we'll decide, and by we, I mean the media and social media, that Alaskapox is rude, and they'll start calling it something else like COVID-19 instead of
But
we
Charles,
should still be calling it the Wuhan flu.
there are medical physicians right now
right?
who study diseases, and
Well, that's their job.
and they believe that there is a plan to create another plandemic. Not this pandemic,
I don't think
plandemic.
I don't think
I
we
believe
have
the
widespread
COVID-19
support.
virus was not a pandemic. That was a plandemic by China. And think about it. The minute they put that out into the earth, all of those taxations on China, all that
I've got to
talk began to
disagree to
change.
some degree. There was a
I don't
tremendous
trust it,
amount.
Charles.
There was a tremendous amount of death in China very early on. A tremendous amount, right? And then it spread to northern Italy because Wuhan is very involved in the textile business, as is Milan, and that's where you see which has an aged population. But we also saw these American Democrats going, "Oh no, this isn't a thing." People forget Trump wanted to lock stuff down at first, right? He kind of got off course. I don't think it was a pandemic, and I don't think the evidence supports it. I think it was an accidental release.
What evidence?
Hold on.
That they give us?
There was an accidental
And you
release.
trust the evidence?
Hold on. An accidental release. I think we were lied to about a bunch of crap.
And you trust the evidence. If they
accidental
lie to you about a
release
couple of things,
that
they'll lie about
China-
everything.
That China decided we don't want to be the only ones suffering this, so we're just going to lie about it, and then spread around the world.
And that's
right?
a pandemic.
And then what we had was all of the global governments and the powers that be decide, well, we can use this as an excuse to restrict movement.
I don't trust
to
none of
rob
them.
liberty.
I don't trust
to
none of
take
them.
so much from it. Think about how much people lost, how much kids lost. It's heartbreaking, Quanah.